Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to a book haul, okay? This book haul that I'm about to do has brought me so many tears of joy and my heart is so warmed. Pretty much immediately upon people finding out that I had lost my job over a week and so ago, I started getting some presents in the mail from friends who just wanted to encourage me, and they sure did, because you know what you do for a bookworm? It's real easy. You send them books when they're having a bad day, and it makes it all a little bit better. Also, I realized that this is the direction that I want that camera to be, so there we go. There we go. So we're going to dive in. Some of these too were actually holdovers from my birthday, because the last book haul I did was my birthday book haul, and because my cart was so full that I had to do it. But there was still a few gifts that came in after I did that. So we're going to start with some of those, and we're just going to go through everything. It's going to be great. So the first little stack I have is from SD, or ST, sorry, but I always say her name. She had some books that she was giving away, and all we were going to need to do was pay shipping for them. And so I went through her list, and there was some that, well, only one of these have I read before. But the others were ones that I had heard about or I was interested in, or authors that I liked. And so I picked out these 6 books. And then she was so sweet, and she was like, don't worry about the shipping. I'm going to just send these to you as a birthday present. And I was like, okay, I won't say no. So I got from her At Attention by Annabeth Albert. This is one of her gay romances, and this one is military. A lot of hers are military gay romances, the ones I've read. So this one is Lieutenant Apollo Floros and Dylan, and they used to be friends. So that's cool. Or brother's friend, maybe? Younger brother's friend. She does quite a few of that setup. So there was that. Then I've heard about this duet before by Holly Trent. I've read a Holly Trent before and I really liked it. And I've been interested in this because this is an this is an FFM duet. And yeah, I've always wanted to try it. So there's writing her in and 3-part harmony, and these are an FFM. I don't know more about that. I just know that when I first read Holly Trent, that these books came up as being an FFM, and I was like, oh, I would like to try that. So we have those. Then there is Tactical Submission by Ada Marie Soto, and this one has it's BDSM, I believe. And I just really love the cover of this. I love that there was rope involved and someone's a sheriff, and I really wanted to try this one. So I also think there's a mystery going on at the same time, but yes, they need to go. It says Jack and Isaac might be a perfect match in the back rooms of the exclusive Windsor Club. I should read this sooner than I was planning to. So, beautiful. The Magpie Lord by KJ Charles. I've absolutely been wanting to read KJ Charles. This is an MM historical romance. I think there's a bit of a mystery. This is number 1 in the Charm of Magpies. And I do know that this is pretty low steam, but I've heard they're really adorable relationships. I love this cover too, by the way. And then the one that I've read before and I was so happy to get a copy of because I haven't ordered it yet. And it has this beautiful original cover for it. I think this is the original one because it's not the cover you can get now. Is Escorted by Claire Kent. I love Claire Kent. I binged a ton of her books last year. I read all of them in 1 month. And this one is a writer, and she pays an escort to relieve her of her virginity, and she ends up having a weekly appointment with him, and it's taboo because their feelings grow between each other. So I absolutely love those ones. So very excited to own those. Then I posted about this one on my Instagram already, in my last book haul, I had 3 of the books in this series, and then my friend sent me the other 3 of these. So Lovers was sent to me from Nikki in Bookland. This is book 2 in the Voyeur Club. I love the Voyeur Club. It's a sex club where you can basically like order the kind of porn that you want to see, and it's like live, so people can put in what they're wanting to see, and then the workers at this club will make it happen. And I love this. This one is an MMF. Then there is Liar, and this is the throat grab one that Crystal had written me a note about, and then it never showed up because Amazon didn't deliver it. So she reordered this for me, and now I have this one. And this one is a uncle's best friend, I think. Yeah, this one's uncle's best friend. And then Teacher, this was sent to me by Crystal as well. And this one is, the heroine has a past trauma. She was sold into sex slavery earlier in the series, like before the series happened. And during the series, her brother is trying to find her. And they do find her, but now she, you know, understandably has a lot of hang-ups about sex and might never want it. And then we have Daniel, who is like a friend of the club. I can't remember if he's an owner or like what that is, but he goes about trying to help her be more comfortable with herself. So very excited to have this. I already have the other 3, so now I have the complete series. I'm so happy. I love those. So thank you to my friends. Then Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl, she sent me one of her favorite taboo books. And we were actually talking about it the other day because I was a little hesitant because this has a hero who is married, but apparently there's reasons why it shouldn't bother me too much. And I told Cheyenne that I'm absolutely willing to try one of her favorite taboo books. But this is one where it's called Intoxication by Charlene Namdari. And this book is, it says, my past, he was my lover. My present, he's my future father-in-law. And in my future, who do I choose? Promises are not meant to be broken, or are they? So they had been together before. Now he's married and she is engaged to his son, and things happen. So I'm definitely willing to give this a try. Take a risk just for the sheer pleasure of it. So there we go. Thank you, Cheyenne. Then I was sent from Lisa Brown, sent me Sanctuary by Rebecca Weatherspoon. I absolutely love the Beards and Bondage series. The Reich by Lily Mayne, adding to my Monstrous series. This is from Cup of Tea book blog, Kat from there. Love The Reich. Absolutely love that series. This I actually won Bree's giveaway for her patron of the month, and this is a signed copy of Dear Mr. Black by Shanora Williams. She always has really like taboo age gaps and stuff, and I'm very excited to try this one. I have read some Shanora Williams before. Then Tiffany Wolfert sent me 2 more books in the Lords of Discipline series. Now I have the whole series of these. These are historical BDSM romances. Gotta love it. Jess from Peace Love Books sent me Madman by Onley James, which is great because I haven't read it yet, but you know, I have the other ones. And this is the newest one in the series that came out, and I definitely need to read this soon. I've been putting it off for a while. Tori from Novel Life sent me The Princess, the Prick, and the Priest by Ella Frank, and this is actually book 4 in the Confession series, and we're going to talk about it again in a minute, so I'll set it aside. I recently, I was adding more books to my wish list because everyone's so wonderful that my books were getting bought that were on the wish list, and this is a series that I remember it so vividly. It was so interesting that I was like, why don't I own this series yet? But this is actually a menage. It's a triple M menage. And there's actually a married gay couple who want a third in their romance. And it's good. It's a very spicy series, but also very emotional. And so thank you, Tori, for this for so much. And like I said, we're going to talk about this series more in a second. Then Amanda's World on IG, she sent me A Rogue Meets a Scandalous Lady by Jennifer Ashley. So since Jennifer Ashley was on my channel in beginning of March or the end of February, I can't remember when, I have been wanting to get back into the Mackenzie series, which is now like an indie published by her. And I'm quite behind on the Mackenzie series. And like, I've only read up through like book 9, and there's like 8 more that come after that. So I have them all on my TBR, and she sent me this, and like, it's absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much, Amanda. See if that stays up there. Then Emily P sent me Rake I'd Like to F. So thank you so much. This is a beautiful anthology of some spicy historicals. We love that for us. Then I actually have a book that I got from a PR company, which I have started but need to get back into it right now. And this cover, you guys, it's so stunning. It is so stunning. I'm in love with it. Okay, so this, I think it's L Woods Publishing, I think, sent me this. And this is Submit by Tana Stone. Look at this beautiful alien man with his tattoos and his beard and his eyeball. Like, oh, it's beautiful. Like, I know that alien romances have cheesy covers in some respects. But this is doing it right. Okay, look at this beautiful man. Like, I love it. I'm so excited. Then, I can't remember where I put this, but I actually had someone send me 2 Linda Howards, Open Season and Dying to Please. Now, I don't really read suspense, but Linda Howard, I've heard that she has good romance in her suspense, so maybe we'll find a time to do this. I do like suspense as audio sometimes, so maybe we'll give that a go. And then I made a TikTok about this where I cried my little eyes out, but JT Geisinger sent all of us who were in live shows with her some books, some signed books. And when I tell you that my little heart cried, it cried to get this, because what I had done is I had ordered a signed copy of Ruthless Creatures because she had the alternate covers of these available on her website, and you could get a signed copy. And the day that they went live, I immediately purchased it right away. And so this is one of my signed copies here, and it says, "To Jenn at the Book Refuge," nice and crisp and beautiful. And this is gorgeous. Like, it's so beautiful. But then also in the bag, she happened to send me another copy of this that says, "To Jenn at the Book Refuge." So apparently I just have 2 in case I damage one. I may at some point ask maybe my like patrons or my channel members if they mind that it says my name on it, if they would like this alternate cover, because this alternate cover won't be around forever. But for now, I just have 2 beautiful copies. Then, the one that just warmed my heart so much, she sent me a copy of Carnal Urges, which was my favorite book from last year. And she personalized it inside and said, "Jenn asked me to spank you from Big Daddy D," and I'm feeling feelings about that. I love it. And I actually am so, I'm just so happy to have this, because I obviously, my JT Geislinger's are over there, and my copy of Carnal Urges, I have read it 4 times, and it is, you know, indie published books, they don't always hold up forever, right? Especially because I've written and highlighted and flagged that book within an inch of its life. And actually, I should be getting Brutal Vows in the mail today. I'm so excited about it. But this series is so dear to my mafia-loving heart. It's not even funny. Then she sent me 2 books that I haven't read yet. And these 2 books that I'm about to share are actually on my May TBR, and I'm very excited to read them. So there's Rules of Engagement, which is a sports romance, and it's also a matchmaker romance, where the hero needs to find a wife, and our heroine is a matchmaker. And of course, he falls for his matchmaker instead of who she picks for him. And then there is Midnight Valentine, which is a standalone that apparently true love never dies. I know this one is extremely emotional, but it does still have an HEA at the end of it. And I'm just terrified of reading it, but excited at the same time, because she said it's one of her favorites. And I just love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So this was so kind, and I will treasure these. Like, no joke. I will treasure these beautiful, beautiful books. And I'm very excited to add them to my shelf now that I've done a book haul. So it's going to be great. Okay. So those are all the books that I got as gifts from authors and PR and all that fun stuff. And now I have books that I bought. So let's go through those. So I have some used books to show just real quick. I dug into eBay and I finally got a copy of Dark Prince by Christine Feehan. I also think I might have mentioned this one in a previous book haul, but it got put back on my book cart for some reason. I don't know why, so I'm showing it again. But there was 4 of Christine Feehan's vampire book, her Carpathian books, that were done with Love Spell, and they have these clinch covers on them, and I've been collecting them. I'm only missing 1 of them, but I try to get them on eBay auctions for a decent price, and I snap those up. I got a Kat Martin. This is Night Secrets. This one has a beautiful in here. I keep collecting Kat Martin, and I need to read some of them. I've heard that she has a very nice spice level on her historicals, so I'm diving into it. And this one is a captain on a ship, so that makes me excited. I don't think that it's a pirate. I think it's just they're stuck on a ship together. So, and our hero is very vengeful. So there we go. And then there is a Gina Showalter, which I just thought the cover was very beautiful. It was giving me like Footloose vibes for some reason. And I want to read more Gina Showalter. I've read a couple of her paranormals and I want to try this one. So this one is with Harlequin and it is called Can't Hardly Breathe. And it says that Dorothea was bullied in high school and she has a long-standing crush on a former Army Ranger, Daniel Porter. And now the sexy bad boy has started using her in as a personal playground, and she should kick him out, but every heated glance makes her want to join him instead. And apparently she's curvy and delicious. So, I don't know. It just seemed cute, and I want to read more Gina Showalter, so that's what I grabbed, because that's what I do. I grab those things. Oh yeah, and then I also found Wildcat by Jennifer Ashley, because I read Pride Mates, her first book in this series, and I didn't love it, but I hear that some of the later ones in this series that people really adore. So, I mean, it was only 50 cents at the store I grabbed it at, so I was like, let me give it a go, because I'm willing to trust Jennifer Ashley. All the rest of the ones I'm going to show are new ones. So that Cowboy of Mine by Donna Grant, this actually just came out the day that I'm filming this. I read the arc of this book. I wasn't a huge fan, but I really loved this cover, and I bought it so that I could, you know, review it and have it for a photo. And it does have an interesting premise, and it does have very low heat, so if you're into that, it could be great. Cal Bennett is found passed out drunk in Dylan Young's property, and so she's on high alert, and then someone takes a shot at her and Cal rescues her, and so she kind of keeps him around and gives him a job, and they're going to pretend to be lovers to find out who's trying to kill her. So then I grabbed Burn Zone by Annabeth Albert. If you can't tell, I really like her. I haven't read any of the books in the Hotshot yet, but I have like 2 or 3 of them now because I really love the premise. It says, Annabeth Albert's Hotshot, the emotions and intensity of Chicago fire with the raw, natural elements of man versus wild. So they're these like hot jumper firefighters, and they're always really hot. So one day maybe I'll do a vlog like binging a bunch of hers. I picked up Untamed Delights and Dark Instincts to cap off my Phoenix Pack series. For my birthday last month, I was given quite a few books by Suzanne Wright, and these were the only 2 left that I needed to finish off that series, so I grabbed those. Very happy to have a completed Phoenix Pack. Then I grabbed The Duke's Pursuit by Golden Angel. This is my 3rd Golden Angel that I've purchased. I also have quite a few on my Kindle because I follow Golden Angel on TikTok, and I love her author's insights and her like thoughts on the industry and like how she's made her business work. And when I saw one of her books in my Barnes & Noble, I bought it immediately. This is her March release. And this is a historical erotica, and so we have a widow who's re-entering society, and then the Marquis of Harrington, he wanted to be with her many years ago, and instead she was married to someone else, and so now he's going to try to win her over. And like most of her books, like this one's pretty short. It's just over 200 pages, but I really bought this because I wanted to support her and buy her book that was in Barnes & Noble. So, and I just love it. I love that they are, she writes kinky historical, so there we go. Oh yeah, here was another Burn Zone one. Oh my god. I literally have 2 of these. I bought this same book twice. Did I not scan it into my library? Guys, this is a hot take literally happening right now. I guess I'm doing a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway for one of these. That is so... Okay. Literally, I'm going through my stack, and I bought 2 of these within the same 2 weeks, you guys. Ooh, oh my god. I thought that I had gotten different ones in the series, and I literally bought the same one twice. I'm a joke. See, this is why. You always scan your books into your app, okay? I use the My Library app to track my library. And then when I'm like, oh, Annabeth Albert, I'm not sure which ones I have, I can check. Well, guess what? I didn't get it scanned in because I was like, oh, when I do my book haul, I'll make sure I scan everything in. Well, I just in those 2 weeks that I didn't scan the book in, I bought a second one. Oh my god. That's embarrassing that this just happened. Anyway, moving along. Also books I picked up. I picked up Enemies by Tijan. I have seen this book around for years. I've read a few books by Tijan and I haven't loved them, okay? We haven't vibed. But this is a sports romance. This is a enemies to lovers, obviously, Texas, a football god, and she's had a disaster of her life of some kind. I don't know. It'll be super emotional. That's what Tijan does. I really like this cover, and it was at my Barnes & Noble. And what have I said? When there's indie books at my Barnes & Noble, they get bought. It happens. I bought myself Mortal Skin by Lily Mayne. This is her now other series, not the Monstrous series. And I'm very intrigued by this one. Quite a bit, I will say. And this one is going to be a gay fae trilogy, I believe. So only the first one's out. So I've been putting off reading it until the next one comes. But there's a dark fae assassin prince and a mortal who's thrown into the cruel world of the folk. So I'm excited about this because I love a mortal meets the fae world, and I love that this one's going to be gay, and I love how Lily Mayne writes her queer romances. They make my heart so happy. Her Monstrous series gives me life, you guys, life. So I just thought I would buy this with, I bought this with some of my birthday money. There we go. And then, as I said that I would, here are the other 3 books in the Confessions series, okay? So, as I said, my sweet friend Tori gave me the Princess, the Prick, and the Priest. Now, this confession series starts with the Princess, which is Robbie, the Prick, which is Julian, and the Priest, which is Priest, but we also call him Joel. So there we go. So these 4 books are this series about this relationship. And 2 things. One, as I've already said, I loved this series. It made me think so many deep thoughts. I love how I just love it. There's so much about this series. But what I really love is I love that this is 4 books, because when you have a menage, when you have a reverse harem, when you have a relationship that is more than 2 people and will be complicated with dynamics, like there's BDSM involved in this, there is, dynamic play in many different directions in this, there is more to explore than can be done in 1 book. And so the fact that Ella Frank, which I know none of these are each like super long, but there's still a decent sized story in each of these. And each book does have the POVs of like everyone in it, but each book dives a little deeper into each of these characters. And by the end of this series, I really knew who they all were. And I was so invested in their relationship working out forever. And so I loved it so much. So I highly recommend it. And I'm so glad that I have this whole series now. It's going to be great. And like, seriously, just look at it. Look at Robbie. He's so beautiful. He's so beautiful. I adore it. I'm into it. Okay. Then I have just 5 books left to show you. And these books were from an order I did from the Book Depository, which if you don't know, that is a UK-based like online bookstore. And they do have used books sometimes, but mostly what they're good for, in my opinion, is they have alternate covers. They have the UK covers of stuff, okay? And I don't always go head first into that because it could get me in a lot of trouble to do that. But there are some books that I really want that. Like back in the day when I was reading these, I got all of the alternate covers of Nevernight series from there. But they are one of the bookstores that I buy from. And one of my favorite booktubers is Becca and her books, and she has a code for like 10% off of Book Depository. And so there was a couple books I wanted to get from there. The first one, this isn't an alternate cover. I just really needed the hardback of Crown of Midnight, which we're doing the SJM along, which by the way, if you didn't notice during this video, I'm wearing my Fireheart t-shirt. I love it so much. But I have a hardback of all of the books in the series except for Assassin's Blade and Crown of Midnight. And I'm going to be getting some other dust jackets from a company called the Dusty Bookshop. They have these gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous covers for the Throne of Glass series, including a cover for Tower of Dawn. That is the cover we all deserve, okay? It is the cover we deserve to have, okay? So anyway, nothing new about this, but I have a paperback and I needed a hardcover. I still need a hardcover of Assassin's Blade, but I'm trying to play it cool. I don't need it right this second, and girl needs to stop spending money. Then I also just really loved this paperback cover of House of Earth and Blood, and I will definitely get the House of Sky and Breath too as well. I really love the side of this. I love the front. I love how simple it is. I just think it's so well done. It still has a beautiful map in here. And so I snatched this up because it was only like $10. So I loved that. And then what I'm really in love with, oh my Christmas, is these alternate covers of The Kingmaker Chronicles by Amanda Boucher. So I got A Promise of Fire. Can't remember which order it goes in because this one doesn't say. Oh yeah, Breath of Fire and Heart of Fire. These just feel so much more like fantasy based than the other ones. And not that I don't love a strong ass woman on the cover, but these just look so classy. I love them. So these were also what I bought from Book Depository because, yeah, I just love how clean they look. And there's even another set that's coming that will match A Curse of the Queens, which I got the ARC for that. I'm so excited. So anyway, but yeah, those are all the books that I just bought recently or was gifted. So thank you all so much for your generosity as always. I'm so humbled by it. Like, I say it every time, but it's so true. Like, being a book fairy to someone is just one of the kindest things you can do if they're a bookworm, because we know that our habit is kind of expensive, and especially if you're buying them mostly for how they like look, because yeah, I have a Kindle and I can read most of these that way and save myself a lot of money. So it's an extravagance to have these gorgeous things on my shelves, but it just makes me feel so fulfilled to have bookshelves overflowing with beautiful words. Like, words are kind of insufficient to describe like the fullness of my heart. So thank you so much to everyone who sent me a gift. Thank you to the authors and the PR companies who blessed me. And oh my gosh, I have one more birthday thing to show. Holy crap, I'm so glad I didn't forget this. Oh my gosh, and then I'll wrap it up. I got a birthday card from Stacy, who has been a channel member and watcher for so long, and she just sent me this beautiful, simple little book, this card, which is gorgeous, like this beautiful card, just saying, I hope many wonderful things come to you, and thank you so much for being my romance wreck queen. And she sent me this, not quite a bookmark, it's a book print. So on the one side it says Sassenach, you know, beautiful, and then it has this art of Jamie and Claire. Oh my god, I almost forgot to share this. Holy Moses, isn't that gorgeous? Stacy, thank you so much. I'm so glad, because I had this tucked into a book so it didn't get hurt, because I wanted to share it, and then I'm going to put it on my Outlander shelf. I don't know where. Girl needs a bigger Outlander shelf. I need a bigger Outlander shelf, but I may straight up like frame this somehow with some other Outlander art that I have, because I adore this. So anyway, okay, there we go. Crisis averted. Crisis averted. I was able to share that card. So anyway, thank you all so much for your love. Thank you for supporting this. Make sure you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Tell me which of these books you're excited to read. I know I didn't totally gush about everything just because I wanted to keep this a decent time. So if there's any of the books I held up that you want to know more about, feel free to ask me, because most of them I have read. That was kind of the, you know, reason why I got them. But okay, we're wrapping up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.